honestly, I'm doing both, and there's some places that they converge in terms of, if you think about Deal or No Deal and when they did the cash giveaway with that online, so there are definitely some of those elements, but there are some of them where it really is separate. I mean, Cameron Deeth, who's doing all of their original content for digital, which is separate from things that are associated with, The Office or Deal or No Deal, I'm really working with their team on the creative side. So in effect, it really is a little bit of two separate hats. So there's places where it intersects in terms of our existing alternative shows where there's lots of online voting components, as well as just trying to find, supplementary material as well as interactive things for viewers to do, especially since the Lucky Case game did so well and was such a huge thing for Deal or No Deal. So that's a part of it, but honestly, it's not as if it's about merging the two as much as they're just two areas I'm working in. This is just an example that AT&T is looking for a certain sort of content, and I know the agents here, I know that Ashton Kutcher's companies and would love to do that. So it's really being more of a kind of creative liaison for the digital people. Does that make sense? As they are putting together, they're taking out their first slate, I think in the beginning of August, but for the next wave of original digital content, we'll do what scripted people do a bit. Go do the agency, talk to the agents, talk to producers about what we know advertisers want in the digital space, and then it's finding the right talent to go with that brand. You know what I think? And truthfully, I think it's just fatigue with the genre, which all of us know. And again, I did the job 5 years ago, left for 3, and did scripted and cable and came back. And even I was like, you're still doing elimination? I think viewers have gotten so used to seeing 3 judges on a talent competition or certain rhythms with elimination. So I think the really big challenge is in enlivening it, like not letting everything feel like you've seen it 100 times, but trying to find something fresh and new to do. Unfortunately, I've come back and there's pitches I heard 5 years ago. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Somebody's still pitching that? So I think it's with scripted or any genre, it is looking for the next thing and not kind of falling into a rut where I think there is now certain structures of in each act there's a challenge and an elimination, that it's really going. And I think the sort of stuff Tom Beers is doing that's a little more doc in its feel, which cable I think has really helped make a little bit more mainstream. So I think really the challenge is to not get complacent. Probably the 2 worst were, one I'd kind of mentioned up there before also, was when an actual pimp, like a producer brought a pimp in, and he had a big chalice and a cane and a hat and the whole thing, and were pitching me a reality show about pimping, like a competition of pimps. And not only is that illegal, and literally again I was like, that's illegal. Like pimping isn't even a legal thing to do. It's just, you get arrested. And they were trying to sell me that it was a fish out of water show, that it was just, no, you're taking pimps. And I was just, again, literally just going, this is just a bad idea. And the agent who let them ever pitch this, I don't think I ever took a pitch from them again. And then in addition to it just being a bad, illegal, horrible idea, because there's salacious stuff, and I'm not a Pollyanna, I can go, okay, that'll get a rating, but again, I'm at NBC. Like, seriously, at the time we had the West Wing and Law & Order, and I'm the only black executive there, and I'm in here with a pimp. I was like, great. I was like, go out the back door. I was like, I don't want people seeing you with me. Of course, like the only other black person was like, was there a pimp here today? And I was like, yes. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So that was just in that it was so inappropriate, and kind of, I think one of the women on the panel pointed out when you keep pushing, and they kept trying to sell me on it, that it made sense in ways that just weren't at all, was probably one of the worst. And then again, the guy who had a fake seizure and foamed at the mouth, and again, they thought we were just going to sit back down and kind of talk, and all of us were like, that's crazy. That is crazy. The couch is all crazy now. It was a little nutty. But honestly, they're really always fun. There's no day of pitches where you're bored. Right. Because it is a very entrepreneurial, and as you can see on the panel, there are people that really think differently and think out of the box. So my first day back, we had a pitch about like wacky medical issues, and it was a guy who had like dropped an anvil on his testes, and there it was. And I was like, I'm back to reality. It was like my first day, and I'm like, oh, you're back.